welcome to Experiment Scary. Love can give life, but love can also create monsters. Imagine the girlfriend you love slowly losing her skin and being replaced by wood fibers. Her eyes still stare at you, but there's nothing human there anymore. This isn't a legend. This is a true experimental report about a carpenter who believed that wood could come to life with human blood. My name is Daniel, and this is about my girlfriend, Emily, the kindest, happiest girl I've ever seen in my life. But everything changed when she started working in the old workshop of Mr. Halden, a strange carpenter who lived on the outskirts of Ashpine. That workshop stood among the dead pine trees. The windows were always boarded up, and inside, the sound of chiseling could be heard, even in the middle of the night. Legend has it that Halden was once a renowned sculptor, but after a fire killed his family, he went mad and began creating wooden dolls with real human faces. On Emily's first day on the job, she seemed happy. "Mr. Halden is nice," she said. "He says wood has a spirit too." I just laughed, but over the following nights, I started to smell a strange odor in her hair, the smell of resin and dried blood. One morning, I looked at her hand. Beneath the skin on her wrist, a pattern of fibers like wood grain emerged. I was surprised, but she simply said, "The wood chose me, Dan. He said I could be a perfect piece." I was starting to get scared. His voice had changed a little flat, like an echo from an empty cavity, and every time I looked into his eyes, there was a faint reflection of another face in his pupils. That night, I decided to follow him. I wanted to know what was really going on. The workshop was filled with life-size dolls. Some were sitting in chairs, some were hanging from the ceiling, some were wrapped in cloth, but from between them, fresh blood dripped. Mr. Halden emerged from the darkness, his eyes like burning charcoal. "Young man," he said, "you should be proud. She will be my greatest work, a love that cannot die." I didn't understand what he meant until I saw the carving table behind him. There was Emily, asleep, or perhaps unconscious, but in her left chest there was a large nail stuck in, and red sap was dripping onto the floor. The sound of dogs barking outside was no longer audible. The air in the workshop was thick, as if thousands of breaths were trapped within the wooden walls. Mr. Halden picked up the hammer and began hammering another nail into Emily's body. Each blow made the floor vibrate. Her blood resists, but her soul has agreed. Halden said, "I'm just helping her become immortal." I screamed, "He's human, not wood." Halden stared at me, a wide smile on his face. "Humans are fragile. Wood is eternal. And true love should be eternal, right?" Then suddenly Emily opened her eyes. Her eyes had changed. They weren't pupils, but dark, swirling circles of wood. She said softly, "I can hear them. They're calling me from within the tree trunk." He said softly, "I can hear them. They're calling me from inside the tree trunk." I tried to untie the ropes around her, but Emily's hands moved on their own. A cracking sound came from her joints. The skin on her cheeks began to split, and beneath it, the wood fibers pulsed softly like veins. "Emily, wake up!" I shouted. She looked at me, then smiled a strange smile. "I'm not Emily anymore, but I still love you, Dan." Then, from behind, I heard simultaneous footsteps. All the puppets in the workshop began to move. Their heads turned simultaneously, and from their mouths came whispers. "One more soul, one more." I recoiled in fear. Halden laughed. "They thirst for blood, but don't worry, they'll consider you a gift." I saw on the wall a can of fuel, thinner, and a small torch. I knew there was only one way to end this. I lit the torch and shouted, "I'll stop you, Halden." But before I could move, Emily stood before me. Her body was now completely wooden, but in her eyes, there were still tears, red resin tears. If you love me, Dan, burn with me. He hugged me tightly. I tried to break free, but his grip was like iron. The flames began to spread across our bodies. Halden screamed, the dolls struggled, but the flames consumed them all. And amidst the flames I heard Emily's voice whisper, "Eternal love, perfect at last."
3 days later, residents discovered the ruins of Halden's workshop. There were no intact human remains, only wooden statues with the faces of a woman and a man, carved so realistically they looked as if they were still alive. Police said they were Halden's final works of art. But in the following nights, people passing by the site reported hearing something.
The creak of wood, slow footsteps on the dry, leafy ground, and through the mist, sometimes you can see the shadow of a woman with bark walking, holding someone's hand. They say, if you pass by and hear a soft whisper, don't turn around, because if you do, she'll think you're the perfect piece of wood for her next piece. Some loves are not meant to last, and some works should never have been created. And this is Experiment File 003, The Wooden Lover. And click subscribe now for the continuation of the story.